6 p.m. here in Cairo, time for the news bulletin. We start our news with the headlines. President Sisi stresses the importance of accelerating strategic projects for linking upgraded seaports nationwide. Foreign Minister Abdul Ati addresses extraordinary OIC meeting on Gaza in Jeddah. Israel hits Khan Yunis hospital, killing at least 20 people, including 5 journalists. Welcome back. The news in detail. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi on Monday stressed the importance of adhering to timetables set for completion of projects and accelerating strategic projects for linking upgraded seaports nationwide at a meeting that was joined by Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli and the Minister of Industry and Transport Kamel El-Wazir. On Monday, the President reviewed outlines for establishing, upgrading, operating and managing the national grid of seaports. Presidential spokesman said the President gave directives over integrating these ports with recently upgraded infrastructure, notably the roads grids, in order to maximize state benefits of these projects. The meeting also probed developments in key transport projects, notably in railways and a monorail project in eastern Cairo and the rapid electric train linking Ain al-Sukhna to Marsa Matruh cities, which is slotted for opening in June 2026. The meeting also probed plans to expand industrial zones in support of plans to enhance the national industry and encourage industry localization. Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli said Terminal 4 at Cairo International Airport is a strategic project that will enhance the facilities, services and infrastructure. The remark came at a meeting in the Civil Aviation Minister Sameh El-Hifni at the government's headquarters in the new Alameen city. El-Hifni reviewed the technical and operational specs of the new hall, which will accommodate at least 30 million passengers yearly and will include a new airplane lane that is fitted with world-class navigation and lighting facilities. Egyptian expats on Monday began casting their votes in the runoff of the 2025 Senate elections. The head of National Elections Authority, Councillor Hazem Badawi, said that 10 individuals candidates are contesting 5 seats across 5 governorates. 195 out of the overall 200 seats in the upper chamber of the parliament were decided in the first round of the vote that was held on the 1st and 2nd of August for the Egyptian expatriates and the 4th and 5th inside Egypt. The remaining seats are in the governorates of Gharbiya, Ismailia, Bani Suef, Luqsor and Wadi Al-Jadid. The runoff vote is taking place at 136 polling stations located at Egyptian missions in 117 countries worldwide over the 2 days. Egyptians inside Egypt will vote on August 27th and the 28th following the vote abroad. At 7 p.m. Cairo local time, the National Elections Authority will be holding a press conference to give a briefing on the elections process. Minister of Foreign Affairs, Migration and Expatriate Affairs Badra Abdul Ati said that Egypt rejects continuous Israeli blatant violations and aggression against unarmed Palestinian people in the Gaza Strip. Addressing the extraordinary ministerial meeting of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation on Monday in Jeddah, the top diplomat condemned the plans to widen Israeli military operations in Gaza as well as Israeli violations in the West Bank. Abdul Ati said that the blame of failure to end the war falls on Israel, saying it is ignoring truce mediation efforts. On the sidelines of the extraordinary meeting of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation in Jeddah, Foreign Minister Badr Abdulati held separate meetings with the counterparts from several regional and Arab countries. Meeting with his Iranian counterpart Abbas Arabji, Abdulati reviewed Egypt's efforts to reach ceasefire in Gaza, allow unhindered humanitarian aid flow in order to cover the needs of Palestinian people who face systematic policy of starvation, pointing the ceasefire proposal submitted by Egypt and Qatar at his meeting with his Turkish counterpart Hakan Fidan. The Foreign Minister Abdulati tackled different means of bilateral relations and regional developments, especially in Gaza. The two top diplomats expressed their satisfaction at the Egyptian-Turkish bilateral relations. After 1 year of establishing diplomatic relations, the two sides also agreed on the importance of building on the first meeting of the high-level strategic council that was held in Istanbul in September 2024. Minister Abdulati also held a meeting with Tunisian counterpart Mohammed Ali and the Algerian Minister of Foreign Affairs Ahmed Attaf and the Pakistani Foreign Minister on regional developments and international efforts to stop Israeli aggression on Gaza and allow humanitarian crises. Humanitarian aid relief trucks continued entering into the Gaza Strip on Monday through a secondary gate at the Egyptian side of the Rafah land port. Some of the trucks are a part of the 22nd convoy Zad al-Izza from Egypt to Gaza, launched by the Egyptian Red Crescent since late July. This society is also coordinating entry of Gaza-bound aid arriving from all over the world. The trucks are bound to finally enter Gaza after they are checked by Israeli occupation forces at the Karam Busalim crossing at the southeastern tip of the borderline between Egypt and the Palestinian territory. The trucks will be subject to the Israeli occupation inspection before entering the enclave. An official source at the Rafah land port said that the convoy comprises huge amounts of essential food and humanitarian aid materials, including babies' milk, sugar, oil, flour, rice, as well as medical supplies. The entry of humanitarian and relief aid trucks into the Gaza Strip within the framework of continued efforts to alleviate the suffering of the Palestinian civilians in the Strip. Palestinian Health Ministry said that 14 people were killed in Israeli air attacks that hit southern Gaza's main Nasser hospital, including rescue crews. The massacre that included 4 journalists come after Israel army continued having bombardment in the northern Gaza City, reaching some neighborhoods and terrorizing residents.
The Israeli aggression in Gaza Strip continued on Monday, killing more Palestinians, mainly in the enclave's 2 main cities of Gaza and Khan Yunis. The Palestinian Health Ministry said 14 people, including 3 journalists, were killed in Israeli air attacks that hit southern Gaza's main hospital on Monday. The ministry said the victims on the 4th floor of Nasser Hospital were killed in a double tap strike. Among the dead were rescue crews. The hospital has withstood Israeli raids and bombardment throughout 22 months of aggression amid critical shortages of supply and staff. At least 62,686 Palestinians have been killed in Israeli war, including more than 2,000 Palestinians who have been killed while seeking aid at the U.S. distribution points or along UN convoy routes. Meanwhile, Gaza City Israeli occupation army kept heavy bombardment and explosion raising some neighborhoods beyond recognition amid Israeli plans to seize and destroy the city. In Jabalia, the densely populated refugee camp just north of Gaza City, residents said they endured non-stop explosions and strikes overnight and in the past days, adding that they lived in constant fears.
Palestinian Health Ministry reported another 11 malnutrition related deaths Sunday, including child during the last 24 hours. That brings the total number of malnutrition-related deaths during the war to 300, with 117 of them children. The world's leading authority on food crisis integrated food security phase classification said that the famine is occurring in Gaza City and could spread south to Deir Balah and Khan Yunis by the end of next month. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu on Monday offered a phased pullout of Israeli troops from Lebanon if Beirut followed through with plans to seize the Hezbollah group's weapons. Netanyahu's office said that if the Lebanese government flows through with the plan, Israel was prepared to engage in the phased reduction of military presence in coordination with the U.S.-led security mechanism. Last week, U.S. envoy Tom Barak called on Israel to honor commitments under the ceasefire. The United Nations Security Council will vote on Monday on the future of the Blue Helmet peacekeeping mission in southern Lebanon that has faced U.S. and Israeli opposition. The Council will vote on a French-drafted compromise that would keep the United Nations interim force in Lebanon deployed in 1978 to separate Israel and Lebanon in place for one more year while it prepares to withdraw. In the latest draft text, the Council would signal its intention to work on a withdrawal of UNIFIL with the aim of making the Lebanese government the sole provider of security in southern Lebanon, in line with the truce that ended a recent war between Israel and Hezbollah. Iranian and Russian presidents discussed Tehran's nuclear program on Monday as European powers threaten to reimpose sanctions on Tehran over the moribund 2015 deal. Iranian state media reported that Iran will hold talks with representatives from Berlin, France and Germany in Geneva on Tuesday. The European trio have threatened to trigger a snapback mechanism to introduce UN sanctions that were lifted under 2015 nuclear agreement with Iran that US quit in 2018. The Russian army on Monday claimed to have captured another village in central Ukrainian region. Russia's defense ministry said its forces have seized the settlement in the important industrial region of Dnipro. Kiev denies that Russian troops have gained a foothold in the region. Dnipro is not one of the 5 Ukrainian regions that Moscow have publicly claimed as Russian territory. Meanwhile, European visitors to Kiev promised to contribute to security guarantees to be offered for Ukraine once the conflict with Russia ends. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said during a joint briefing with visiting Norway's Prime Minister Johannes Gahr Støre that U.S. and Ukrainian officials are expected to meet later this month on potential security guarantees for his country ahead of reaching an end to the conflict. Zelensky said that the Kiev aims to secure at least $1 billion on monthly basis from allies to pursue U.S. weapons. He also said that the presence of foreign troops of the country once war ended would be important.